they leave. Yes. Thank you. I say Caitlin, I say Cynthia, and I think you say.
I think you say all of them.
All of them? Oh. Yep. Go Hannah with an H. And.
They're all you. Say all three.
I didn't realize how long this input is. Should we split it up or you want to say it for yourself? Pages 32.
It reads faster now.
I don't just you have time to just tell me what you want to do. Sure. Speaking parts. Alright, sounds good. Good morning. Welcome here in the building and welcome online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. This is our Sunday worship service. We're on land stolen from the Tocobaga and Seminole indigenous Americans. Many Christians celebrated Christmas this past week, but Eastern Orthodox Christians will celebrate on January 7th. The last night of Hanukkah was last week, as was Yule. And today is the third day of Kwanzaa, which is the day of Ujima, or collective work and responsibility. My name is Reverend Ben. My pronouns are he and they. I am excited for today's worship service. It's called Keep Hope Alive. Music is by Robert Logan and Liam Dunn and Krisha Logan. We have a view from the pew from the green team. Ian Goddard is going to give that view from the pew. And my worship associate today is Micheal P.
Thank you, Ben. As Ben just said, my name is Micheal P, and my pronouns are he and him. If you want a church that values love, justice, and hope over, and way over, that much over, division, blame, and fear, I have good news. You may have found your church home.
We actually don't have any announcements today, but there are announcements and you can read them in your order of service. We have a monthly newsletter you can sign up for using the QR code, or just ask any staff member how you can get that. There are also announcements on the TV in Gilmore and throughout the building. You can see those during coffee hour. Now, as Unitarian Universalists, we're a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith that every being is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we're connected. We're connected to one another. We're connected to the earth. So whoever you are and wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. And can you do the announcement? The bottom of page 3?
Sure. Allow me to give a special welcome to any newcomers. If you are new to St. Pete, or even relatively new, can you give us a wave? Hey, y'all.
A lot of waves.
Really good to see you.
Ow.
If you'd like, you can briefly introduce yourself. I'm going to bring the microphone around. That you're under no obligation to do so. Yeah, I'm already seeing his head shaking. That's fine. And Ben, I'll let you finish the little intro there.
You have until Michael grabs the microphone to decide whether to raise your hand. The first one to raise their hand is always hardest. Anyone willing? Oh, we do have one. Thank you, sir.
Just hold it like that.
Hi, we're visiting from Brunswick, Maine. I'm David, and this is my wife, Di.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. I love Brunswick. One.
Hi, we're Bob and Sharon, and
A little closer to your mouth, please. Like
hello.
there you go.
How's that? We're Bob and Sharon. We're visiting from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hey, Bob. Hey, Sharon. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Kitty Rowell. Moved back to St. Petersburg. I was a member of UU on Treasure Coast. Stewart was very active there, worship associate and such. Anyway, I'm glad to be here, and I'm thinking very seriously about joining. I really like this place.
Welcome, Kitty. One in the back. Please eat it like it's an ice cream cone, that microphone, so we can hear you.
Good morning. My name is Zia, and this is my guest, Karen. So I'm a visitor that brought a visitor. And I belong to a UU fellowship in Landrum, North Carolina, which is a tiny town next to my town, which is Tryon. We have about 50 members.
Yeah.
And pretty much all of them show up, and we are really like a family. It's a wonderful small group, but I like this big one also.
Welcome. We got more.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi. I was here Christmas Eve. It was lovely. I was with my cousin and we left. And then we went someplace, I'm not sure now, but anyway, we couldn't find the keys. Oh man, it was awful. You know, my cousin and I were, and my husband, we were scourging through the car. We couldn't find them, so we came back here thinking we dropped them in the parking lot. Well, they weren't there. So we parked in front of the church, and a member was sitting outside, and she said, what's going on? I said, we can't find our keys. Well, I'll help you. So she went to the car, and immediately she picked up the key. And I thought, well, that's a miracle, so we're here.
Oh, yay! It is a miracle. Anyone want to admit that they were the member that helped them? They're not here. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for silencing your cell phones. Now, we have masks, and I see some of you are wearing masks. They're encouraged, but optional. They're available at either entrance. You can wear one as you're comfortable. And now's the time for us to turn and greet our neighbors. If you're going to hug or shake hands, please get some consent and maybe say hello to someone new. I've never used the timer. I've never used the timer for greet your neighbor. Because it says a minute, but I've never done it. Since I'm stranded here anyway, I'm going to use the timer. Jumping up. Let's sing our children to their classes. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Caitlin, thanks for staying behind to light the chalice after we sing our opening hymn. So please rise as you're willing and able. It's in our gray hymnal, it's number 175. We celebrate the web of life.
We celebrate the web of life, its magnitude we sing, for we can see in cactus and in quail, as much in tiny barnacle as in the great blue whale. Of ancient dreams we are the sum, our bones linked stone to star, and bind our future worlds to come with worlds that were and are. Respect the water, land, and air which gave all creatures birth. Protect the lives of all that share the glory of the earth.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. This chalice here is a reminder that we choose to focus together for this time, and we believe such time is sacred. And when Caitlin lights the chalice, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words can be found in your programs and online. We have 2 hand movements, hand to heart, and then hands reaching out like you're serving. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You may be seated. Thank you, Caitlin.
We come to the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those of you on YouTube Live are not in this room, but your presence is still felt. Please type your joys and sorrows into the text chat. If you have a joy, sorrow, or concern to submit during the week, please email Reverend Ben.
Right now, my wonderful mother, Johanna Zeman, will place a stone in the water for each one that was submitted this week. Still time, if you're writing cards, to run one up to me or to Michael, or to ask someone else to bring it up here.
Our first stone is one of joy for Mimi Kodo. Originally, we thought Mimi could only work for us until the end of February, but Mimi will be staying here long after that. Thank you, Mimi. We're so glad you're staying with us as our office coordinator.
Thank you, Mimi. Are they here?
I don't see them.
They're probably working.
Yep.
So please thank Mimi when you see them. Stone of gratitude from Sandra Lewis for all who have offered her comfort and support during this difficult time when she lost her mother. Sandra says, I didn't realize just how often my mother was in my thoughts until I couldn't share them with her anymore.
A stone of sorrow on the loss of Dr. John Curtis. His wife, Mary, will be flying to Florida to arrange his memorial at Eckerd College.
And Mary says it'll probably be on a weekday, and I will be performing the celebration of life, but it'll be there at Eckerd. Now, each week we appreciate someone or someones who have worked hard to accomplish our mission. And you came here from Christmas Eve. A lot of people make that happen. We had musicians, we had wassailers, is that even a word? We had ushers, you guys are wassailers. We had decorators, we had actors in costume, we had staff and volunteers. Thanks to all, about 30 people who made that service possible.
A stone of joy and gratitude for the president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. And another stone for our UU staff and leaders and the tremendous work that they do, especially the staff from the UUA Southern Region Office.
Hey, Mimi, before you go. So I shared a joy that you were staying longer and people did this. I have a stone of joy, and it's also sorrow. The joy is I have a resolution every year to slow down. The sorrow is I hurt myself playing pickleball. I was like, not that way. So I have this really lovely brace that you'll see. I'm hurt, so I can't lift it up to show you. And it was jumping up, and mid-jump it went dong. And I don't even remember if I made the shot or not. Do you have any paper? I don't. Oh, yeah, a stone of joy from Lucinda. One of the pews was broken by someone, okay, me, when we were trying to roll it out of the way, and I thought if I like push really hard, it would bump up on the thing, but instead when you push it hard, even with the wheels are down, it breaks. And so the pew broke, and it was fixed by Jesus, who is in fact a carpenter. So it makes sense. Those of you who weren't here, Robert played Jesus on the Christmas Eve service. But Robert, Krisha, and Krisha's son's dad all fixed the pew. Thank you so much for fixing the pew. We appreciate you.
And we will place a final stone for those joys and concerns that remain in our hearts, perhaps too tender to be spoken out loud.
We're going to, for one final week, read from our community covenant. We're going to switch back to our mission next week, but the words can be found in your order of service, and the whole thing is here.
Participants in the UU St. Pete community come together out of a common belief that what we do in this world matters. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law.
Since a healthy and vibrant community depends upon our adherence to a common congregational covenant, we expect all community participants to commit to the following practices as part of our great covenant. To seek the truth and love, I will approach differences of perspective and opinion with curiosity and patience.
I will seek to avoid stereotypes, assumptions, and judgments. I will participate in healthy debate and learn something from others, even those with whom I disagree.
I recognize that I am an imperfect individual and will sometimes fall short of this covenant.
I commit to try my very best to live its aspirations. Together, we will all work to build our beloved community.
Thank you. May all of us find a comforting and a compassionate presence in the warmth of fellowship and community. For me, the mystery is that we are connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one, and let's take a minute of silence together.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning. I'm Ian Goddard. I am a snowbird and a member of this congregation. And I'm here today on behalf of the Green Team to give you my perspective on hope for the environment. The livability of our world has a perilous outlook. As we saw in the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina in 2005, environmental justice is often denied to unempowered people. Hurricane Ian in 2022 destroyed Fort Myers Beach and the Sanibel Island Bridge in the costliest hurricane in Florida history. Hurricane Milton last year flooded Gulfport, caused St. Pete's sewage plants to close, and forced many residents to move. And in spite of this, Florida's government passed a law last year to ignore the climate crisis. Don't despair. Joan Baez reminded us action is the antidote to despair. And Greta Thunberg said, once we start to act, hope is everywhere. So instead of looking for hope, look for action. Then, and only then, hope will come. But there's always hope. Remember the story of Pandora? The Greek myth, not the planet. As Yanis Samatas tells it, before sending Pandora to Earth, Zeus gave her a box, which he warned her never to open. Inevitably, her curiosity got the better of her. When Pandora opened the box, she unleashed all manner of evils and miseries into the world. Sickness, death, sorrow, strife, and many others. She closed the box quickly, but it was too late. Damage had been done. Only one thing remained in the box: hope. If our goal is to preserve a livable world for future generations, we need to get to work. We often hear that hope is an active verb. Well, what hopeful actions can we take? Stop making the climate crisis worse. Work for sustainability. Prepare to cope with the climate crisis. Increase resiliency. Restore environmentally conscious policymaking at all levels. Make environmental justice the low-cost solution. Stop harmful subsidies. We can and must work for change and environmental justice at all levels. Green home, change those light bulbs to LEDs. Green church, what energy savings can we achieve? Green Pinellas, maybe working together with FAST. Green Florida, through changes in Tallahassee. Green Nation, the time will come. Green Planet, supporting the goals of the UN IPCC and the Paris Agreement. Let elected officials know what you expect of them. UU minister and environmental activist, Reverend Fred Small, tells us it's good to change a light bulb, but it's better to change a senator. Let me leave us with the advice of Jane Goodall. Hope is what enables us to keep going in the face of adversity. It is what we desire to happen, but we must be prepared to work hard to make it so. Thank you.
Just kidding.
There we go.
Just kidding.
That's a little better. All right.
Tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart.
To the one with the smile and the shining eyes, she said, fortune will smile on you. In the bright sunlight he found a new diamond, felt blessed by your words so true.
So tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart.
To the one with the frown and his eye on the time, she says, fortune will smile on you. Not bothering to, he passed a new dime, not content with the blessings of you.
So tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart. Fortune, she says, is a personal thing, and blessings are what you see. There's a gift in your path to accept, to pass by. As you will it, so will it be. So tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart. Ask what you will, whatever your goal. She'll say fortune will smile to all. For that which you seek you find not in your soul. You'll never find it at all. So tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart. So tell me, lady, with your second sight, what do you see in the cards tonight? Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose what's in your heart. Will my days be filled with darkness or light? She says, choose.
Thank you.
Our reading today is a beautiful and powerful poem by Denise Levertov called Beginners. But we have only begun to love the earth. We have only begun to imagine the fullness of life.
How could we tire of hope? So much is in bud. How can desire fail? We have only just begun to imagine justice and mercy.
Only begun to envision how it might be to live as siblings with beast and flower, not as oppressors.
Surely our river cannot already be hastening into the sea of non-being. Surely it cannot drag in the silt all that is innocent.
Not yet, not yet. There is too much broken that must be mended. Too much hurt we have done to each other that cannot yet be forgiven.
We have only begun to know the power that is in us if we would join our solitudes in the communion of struggle. So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in bud.
Our congregation's hope is sustained by your financial gifts. Your contributions sustain our collective work to mend what is broken, to take care of each other and our community and our world. With gratitude, the offering will now be given and received.
That which is given in love is received with great joy. Thank you. Thank you, Liam, for that lovely piano concerto. Thank you, Michael and Ian, for your words, and Robert for the anthem, and Krisha for the anthem, and for leading hymns. Our topic is Keep Hope Alive. It's the final in our December theme of Choosing Hope. And those of you who are here, remember we began by finding hope when hope is hard to find, continued by asking, is hope enough? Wondered if Florida was safe. And on Christmas Eve, we celebrated by claiming each child born is a sign of hope. Now, I think keeping hope alive is an essential task for any religious community, certainly for ours, certainly in the current climate. So I'm going to try and get really practical today. How specifically can we keep our individual hope alive, our congregation's hope alive, and our world's hope alive? And the Greta Thunberg quote was perfect. Thank you, Ian, for that. I hadn't heard that before. I think it's the perfect place to begin. Once we start to act, hope is everywhere. So instead of looking for hope, look for action. Then, and only then, hope will come. So let's take a minute and think of some actions that inspire us to hope. I am going to ask you what you come up with. So I'll tell you 4 things, but let's think together of some actions that inspire you to hope. Now, Ian already brought up Reverend Fred Small. It's good to change a light bulb, but better to change a senator. Did you know, though, he was arrested 2 weeks ago? His crime, and I use that with air quotes, was delivering care packages to ICE detainees. So on the one hand, it's horrifying that this is the crime rather than the actions of ICE being considered a crime, but it is also good and hopeful for me to know that Reverend Fred Small is still getting into good trouble. Many of us were at Bread and Rose's Women's Health Clinic yesterday. We were escorting patients to the front door of the clinic as people yelled at them and called them names. And again, it's awful that this kind of escorting is needed, but my hope was rekindled by seeing those willing to do it. Actually, for the first time, we outnumbered the yelling people. There were 10 of us volunteers, there were only 9 of them. Our dear Liz Ryland has been in hospitals and rehab centers for weeks. Liz tunes in Sunday services via YouTube Live. Hi, Liz. But on Christmas Eve, she managed to get here in person. How? Because Joe Wedman drove to her facility, picked her up, and brought her here. Thank you, Joe. We talked before about our beloved Dr. John Curtis, who has passed, but his acts of kindness live on. Many of you know John drew beautiful portraits of unhoused people from our Friday night community. And for some people, that's the only memory we have of them because they have passed. Mary, who I spoke about, all I have of her is that portrait of Mary. Now that Dr. John has also passed, the portraits can live on as not just memories of the subjects of the portraits, but also memories of John himself. In many ways, these are terrible times. Ian touched on some of this. Increasingly, autocratic governments have created feelings of hopelessness in many of you. The specter of Roe v. Wade being overturned, unhoused people seen as less than human, ICE running rampant over human rights, older Americans being warehoused and isolated. Each of these are like dark, heavy blankets cast over our communities. But the actions of so many, Dr. John Curtis, Reverend Fred Small, Joe Wedman, the Bread and Roses volunteers, each of these actions pierce those dark blankets with sparks of light, like holiday lights, or like these candles, or this chalice, piercing the darkness. These actions pierce our hopelessness. So, what other actions have you seen that inspire you? It can be things folks have done here, in this community, or somewhere else in the world. I can't run around, so Michael's going to bring the microphone to you. There's Nancy.
It's an ice cream cone, right? We were at a demonstration at the Chevron in St. Petersburg against its involvement in Israel. And we all were on different street corners, and this woman came by walking her dog. And she stopped and she said, "Who are you? Where are you guys from?" She was Palestinian. She was so thrilled.
Oh, thank you. Is that the blue mic? Can you turn up the blue mic a little, please, Sophie, when you have a sec? Nancy's back there.
Every Monday, Terry and I join about 30 people on the corners of 22nd Avenue North and US 19. And it's so hopeful because we get so many positive horn honks. Over 400 we have counted on any given week. Encourage you to come and join us. It really fills your heart with hope. Of course, there are a few middle fingers extended as well, but we outnumber them with the positives.
Hi friends, I was gone from this community for 11 years, and having come back, I find that a brave leader whom I immediately knew is a very safe advocate for everybody is here and is standing up for racial justice and gender equality and abortion rights in the front yard and a big old rainbow flag, and I could not be happier to see what this community has become.
Good to have you back. Wait, who was the key finder? Oh, yay, thank you.
Okay, at the micro level, connecting with hospice patients.
Hospice patients. Thank you.
The work that Jane and Mason have done at the Woodson African American Museum, raising money for scholarships for our young students.
Yes. Woodson Warriors.
Doing Meals on Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say something a little different. So seeking happiness in our lives. So just our basic activities, we need to keep doing that. That's going to give us hope. Truly.
Thank you, Krisha. Thank you.
Other jailbirds in this congregation who are probably too modest to bring it up.
Jailbird.
I just remember every day that kindness is free.
Kindness.
So I would like to thank William, Claudia, Sabina, and everyone who helps feed the unhoused on Fridays. I think that's amazing that we do that.
Thank you, volunteers.
I just wanted to mention that they have a vigil/protest against alligator Alcatraz on 49th Street North. I don't know if you know about this, but they have quite a good group show up on Sundays at 4 o'clock. They've been doing it for a few weeks. So if you can make it, that's a pretty effective thing.
Thank you.
What comes to my mind when you mention action, all these wonderful things people do, sort of intimidates me a little bit because I don't do a lot of those things. But what I hear for me is like you make 1,000 choices every day. And if you're intentional and think about what choice you're making, that can move the dial.
Thank you. That's a good one to end on, I think. We have one more. This will be our last.
In securing public transit funding, I traveled to the state capitol wearing a train costume. We were able to secure 1.2 billion or 1.5, I think, for Chicago.
Great. That's great. Thanks, everyone. And to your point, which is a good one in the back of so many things, I think Krisha and Robert sang it best. Choose what's in your heart. Now, Rachel, you mentioned Palestine, and I feel like this is one of the places where a dark, heavy blanket has been thrown, if you will. I subscribe to an email newsletter, I don't know if you do, called the Good Shepherd Collective. You know this? So this is a guy named Cody O'Rourke. I don't think he's Palestinian, but he has lived there for 20 years and worked there. And this week's newsletter, he said, for the past 2 years, and I didn't know this, Palestinian Christians have canceled Christmas. They refused celebration despite the economic toll in solidarity with Gaza. And this year, for the first time in those years, Christmas was celebrated in Palestine, and O'Rourke frames this as a sign of hope, as a light, if you will, piercing that dark, heavy blanket. Choosing hope isn't always easy, O'Rourke says, because often people confuse hopelessness with naivete. Being a cynic can feel safer and smarter, both in academic spaces and in political conversations on the street, especially during genocide. As such, people sometimes choose despair and loathing simply because they don't want to be perceived as naive. And in doing so, he says, they deny what so many people yearn for, hope that a better tomorrow is on the horizon. O'Rourke said, I've learned how important it is not to dwell in morbid defeatism and dangerous nihilism. I understand that having faith in a better world isn't just about staving off depression and the procrastination that comes with it. Though it is not always easy, he says, I try not to let my pessimism and cynicism masquerade as critical analysis. Isn't that interesting? I really appreciated O'Rourke's very nuanced thoughts about hope from the perspective of living in Palestine. And I agree with Greta Thunberg. We should look for actions and take actions as an antidote to hopelessness, as a beacon in dark times, as a chalice light signifying that we are together now, in this moment, in this space, and that this time is sacred. Welcome. Who among you has toured the Holocaust Museum in D.C.? Oh, wow, a lot. So, y'all remember it ends with stories of resistance? Like that first floor, you start at the top and the first floor. It ends with stories of resistance, stories of people fighting back. And one story I remember, and I think I've mentioned it before, is an Orthodox bishop on a Greek island. The Nazis mailed him a form, and they said, please fill out this form. List the names of all the Jews who live on your island. And he did indeed fill it out and return the form with only his name on it. I don't know what happened to him, but that story always stuck with me. And Reverend Fred Small was a folk singer. I think you know this. Before he was a UU minister, one of his songs was about the Gentiles in Denmark during World War II. According to the Holocaust Museum, on September 28, 1943, a German diplomat secretly informed the Danish resistance that the Nazis were planning to send the Danish Jews to concentration camps. The Danish Gentiles responded quickly, organizing a nationwide effort to smuggle the Jews by sea to neutral Sweden. Warned of the German plans, Jews began to leave by train, by car, and on foot with the help of the Danish Gentiles. They found hiding places in homes, in hospitals, in churches, and within a few weeks, Danish Gentile fishermen helped ferry some 7,200 Danish Jews and 680 non-Jewish family members to safety across the narrow body of water separating Denmark from Sweden. Light when it's most dark, warmth when it's most cold. Actions that help us keep hope alive. Earlier this month, Susan Bernauer brought up Reinhold Niebuhr, the theologian, and I found out that when he was president, Barack Obama was asked about, do you know Reinhold Niebuhr? And he said, yes, he's one of my favorite philosophers. And President Obama was asked what he appreciated about Niebuhr, and Obama replied, the compelling idea that there's serious evil in this world, and hardship, and pain, and we should be modest, Obama said, and humble in our belief that we can eliminate those things, but, Obama said, we shouldn't use that as an excuse for cynicism and inaction. I appreciate, Obama said, the sense that Niebuhr gives us that we have to make these efforts knowing they are hard, not swinging from naive idealism to bitter realism. Our religious values demand that we take action for justice and equity, and our hearts crave hope when hope is hard to find. So may we keep our hope alive by seeing the change we long for, by being the change we seek. I'll close by repeating words from this brilliant poem by Denise Levertov. We've only begun to know the power that is in us if we would join our solitudes in the communion of struggle. So much is unfolding that must complete its gesture. So much is in bud. Keep hope alive. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
Now please rise as you are willing and able for our closing hymn as we sing of hope and joy. It's number 1060 in the Teal hymnal, number 1060.
All right, so this hymn is a little tricky both melodically and rhythmically. You will see there's 4/4. There's sections of 4/4 and then there's sections of 2/4. So if you feel like it's changing faster than you expected, that is exactly what happens at some spots. So
You can do it.
We'll manage our way through this one. As we sing of hope and joy today, some know only anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while some have pain and misery to spare? If a crumbling world we would renew, we must sing no ordinary song. Peals from a noisy gong will never do. In every breath compassion must belong. Let this song our greatest hopes contain, laughter of a well-fed child its tune, roofs over every heart its sweet refrain, its harmony from peaceful cities hewn. Sing of joy while hammering each nail. Sing of hope while pulling every weed. So shall we sing together and prevail. May every Alleluia bear a seed.
You may be seated.
Our closing words today are from Howard Zinn's memoir, You Can't Be Neutral on a Moving Train. To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly romantic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, kindness. What we choose to emphasize in this complex history will determine our lives. If we see only the worst, it destroys our capacity to do something. But if we remember those times and places, and there are so many, where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act, and at least the possibility of sending this spinning top of a world in a different direction. And if we do act, in however small a way, we don't have to wait for some grand utopian future. The future is an infinite succession of presents, and to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is itself a marvelous victory.
Thank you, Michael. We invite you to follow along with the hand gestures. Light of truth is this, warmth of love is this, fire of courage is this. As Cynthia Patterson extinguishes our chalice, the words are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Our worship is over, but our service begins. There's a lot of you who are new. I hope you will take a minute to come. It's right there in Gilmore Hall to have coffee with us, maybe say hello. We hope this time together will help you through your week and will help you remember you are not alone.